Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm showing you every single F3 command in Minecraft 26.1. And so F3 commands or F3 debug hotkeys can be used to show extra information about your game in various different ways. There are about 20 of these in total and we'll go through all of them in this video. So if you like Minecraft videos like this one, then please make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Minecraft tutorials like this one in the future. And so as you may know, if you press F3, then you'll see your F3 debug screen. But it is also possible to hold F3 and then press another key on your keyboard and then something else may happen. So let's start with our first F3 command, which is holding down F3 and pressing A. If you do this, as you can see, it reloads all the chunks in your world. And you can also see this short flash, so it just reloads all of your chunks. Then next up we have F3 and B. This will show hitboxes of all entities, so not only of myself, but you can see that those horses over there now also have their hitboxes shown. You can also see where they are looking at with the arrow. And you can also see how tall they are with the red line there. And so the hitbox, as its name already suggests, is where you will hit the mob if you punch it there. And if you hold F3 and press B again, then it hides the hitboxes again. Then we have F3 plus C. This will copy your current location to your clipboard. So that means if you now open our chat and then paste, you will see that it has copied our current location and rotation as well, along with the dimension we were in. So that means that if we run this command, it teleports us exactly to that spot we were in that dimension. And it also makes it so that we face that exact direction. So if we now look in a different direction towards the village, hold F3, press C, and paste that in, then now we're indeed looking at that spot again if we teleport over to our saved location. Now there's something interesting with F3 plus C, and that is that if we hold C for 10 seconds, so hold F3 and hold C for 10 seconds, this will actually crash the game. So if you hold this, you'll see F3 plus C is held down. This will crash the game unless released, and it will count down from 8 all the way down to 1, and then yes, it will crash the game. There we go. And so on the launcher you will see it says the game crashed, manually triggered debug crash, error Java lang throwable, manually triggered debug crash with exit code -1. So in case you ever want to crash your own game, that is possible. Then let's move on to F3 plus D. That is an interesting one, because holding F3 and pressing D will clear your chat, as you can see. And it also has it cleared when you open your chat again, so you don't see your previous messages here. But you can still use the up and down arrows to see your previous messages and commands. It just removes the visible chat in the game and can be really useful. Then next we have F3 plus G. This toggles the chunk borders debug renderer. So that means you can now see the current chunk you're in and also the chunks around you as well. You can also see every 16 blocks there is one of these blue squares for the height chunks. And you can see all neighboring chunks around you in the red lines. And you can turn this off again by again holding F3 and pressing G once more. That hides the chunk borders again. Then next we have F3 plus H. This will show advanced tooltips. So that means that after you've pressed this, if you look at items, you will see their actual tags. So in this case, Minecraft : birch planks. And you will also see the number of components. For items, you will also see their durability. And if we hold F3 and press H again, that hides the advanced tooltips, and now we just see this for our diamond pickaxe. Other stuff you can see is, for example, armor color for leather armor, or map scale, or what type of fireworks is loaded in a crossbow. Then there is holding F3 and pressing I. This copies server-side block data or entity data to your clipboard. And so now we have a set block command for this exact block right over here that we were looking at. So if we now look at, for example, the bed over here, we can do F3I and paste that. And you'll see that we set block a yellow bed facing north, occupied false, part is head, and no components. So it means if we break the bed and run that command, it places that exact part of the bed back. And if we do this, for example, for this chest, you will see that now we also get that this is a chest, but also that has a loot table that corresponds to Minecraft chest's village plains house. Also with the seed in it, so we see that this is the original chest. We break it, paste this, and we get the exact same chest back. But you can also do this for entities. So we can go over to this horse, for example, and hold F3, press I, and it copies the entity data to clipboard. Now, entity data is too large for your chat. So let's put that in a command block instead. And you will see that you will get a summon command for that horse with all of the tags that that horse has. which is a lot. But if we now grab a button and activate this, you will see that it summons a horse exactly in that location where we just copied it with all of the same features that that horse had. So it's basically just cloning the entity or the block you were looking at. Then next up we have F3 plus L. If you hold F3 and press L, it will start debug profiling and it will take 10 seconds, or you can stop it early by holding F3 and pressing L again. So there we go, we now did it for 7.52 seconds and this many ticks, and resulted in 60 ticks per second or thereabouts. You will also see this right over here. It saved the results of the profiling to this location. We can open that. That brings us here and we can look in this zip file, and there's a system file which just tells us how much each of our components of our computer actually uses for Minecraft. We can see a whole lot more text files for the server and also client side as well. For example, we have a lot of options and so on. So basically just a whole lot of information for people that want to look into it. Then after that we have F3 plus N. Now this will always put you into spectator mode. So we do this, F3N. Turns you into spectator mode, and if you press it again, it brings you back into the mode you were in before, so that was creative mode. But if we start in survival mode and then hold F3, press N, spectator, and do it again, you will see we return back into survival mode instead of creative mode. Then we have holding F3 and pressing P. This enables or disables pause on lost focus. So if this is disabled and we move out of Minecraft and move back, the game is not paused. But if this is enabled like this and we do the exact same thing, so I go out of Minecraft and go back in, then you will see that we go into the game menu. After that we have holding F3 and pressing S. This will dump all dynamic textures into the Minecraft folder. So let's try it. Hold F3 and press S. This will have a tiny lag, but then you will see save the dynamic textures to screenshots debug. And that looks something like this. It just creates this folder, this debug folder with a whole lot of textures. For example, we have all of the paintings here, but there's also textures for all blocks and a whole lot more stuff to explore. We even have all of the moons, the sun and the end flashes here. Next up is holding F3 and pressing T. This will reload all of your resource packs. So for example, if you added or removed resource packs from your resource pack folder, you can press this and then you don't have to restart the game to select a new resource pack. And as you saw, it also shows the Mojang Studios logo when trying this. Then we have holding F3 and pressing V. This will dump the version info. So it just shows you which version you're currently in, when it was built, what the pack versions are for resource packs and data packs, and if it's a stable version or not. And then we're done with F3 and letters. Now we're on to numbers and other keys. So if you hold F3 and press 1, this will always show your pie chart or the profiling chart in the debug screen. You can press the number keys now to go deeper into the game if you want that for some reason, and press 0 to go back. This can, for example, be used to find chests in your world. You can see chests, trial spawners, mob spawners, vaults, and a bell. Of course, we're in a village, so that makes sense. And you can hold F3 and press 1 again to remove the pie chart. Instead of 1, you can also hold F3 and press 2. That will show the FPS charts. So you can see FPS there in the bottom left. You can see minimum, average, and maximum values there. And you can also see the TPS on the bottom right as well. And you can see red for bad and green bars on the left for good FPS. And in the TPS you can also see different colors which represent, for example, waiting for the next tick, miscellaneous, scheduled tasks, and server ticks. And hold F3 and press 2 again to remove those. Then we have hold F3 and press 3, which shows the ping graph on the bottom right there, but of course we're not on the server here, so nothing is shown there. And then we have F3 plus 4 for the light map, which is this little icon in the bottom right there. Then next we have holding F3 and pressing escape. This pauses the game, as you can see here, without the pause menu. But everything is paused in the game, so that chicken will never move and the pig will also never move. You can just press escape to unpause it. Then the penultimate F3 debug hotkey is holding F3 and pressing F4. This opens up the game mode switcher and it selects the last used game mode. So previously we were in survival mode, so that's the one it's selecting. But you can press F4 again to go to different modes. So adventure, spectator, creative, and survival. Those are your 4 options. And once you release F3, you will switch to that game mode. And then finally we have holding F3 and pressing F6. This will open up the debug options, which allows you to customize the F3 debug screen. And so there we go, those are all the F3 debug options in Minecraft version 26.1. If you do have any more questions about this video, then please leave them in the comments down below. But anyway, there we go. Hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, then please subscribe!